you cannot slack off, at least not for too long dieting wise. Let's say you dieted well 2 weeks. You locked in, your calorie limit's 2,500. Maybe one day you had a little bit of a low day and you stay like 2,400. And if you have one day where you launch over 5,000 calories, like if you're steadily dieting down well and you have a day of crazy intake, but you get back on it, you're fine. Just a little hiccup. It'll even out. But if you can't control yourself and you're on day 3 of like just eating anything in sight, look man, you can honestly wreck 2 weeks of progress in a deficit in just 3 days of eating like a total nutcase. So I really cannot stress, you gotta lock in, you gotta man up. But it doesn't have to be complete hell either. If you're eating actual kind of smarter foods, I'm talking low calorie bread, tons of lettuce, low calorie sweeteners, 0 calorie soda, low fat mayonnaise, the list goes on. Even if you don't want to be a total nut and weigh and track every detail, if you start replacing these foods with the calorie smart option, you should notice. But it's, come on. It's kind of up to you. The only time you'll catch me do a set where I'm not really trying to push it is if I'm just getting exposed to the weight, you know? But in your actual workout, if even half of your sets are kind of fluffy, like let's say I could get 20 reps with this. I don't think I can, but it's hypothetical. If I stop at 10, that's a shit set. If I stop at 15, it might be a little better, but still on the lower end, you know? If you can have 2 extremes, one where you don't push yourself at all, and one where you push yourself as hard as you can go on your sets, which side do you think you should gravitate towards if you want your training to actually do something for you? And I'm not saying every set, and I've said this before, I think you guys, everyone knows this. Every set doesn't have to be like a fucking maxed out, screaming, just, you know, insane event. But if you're physically capable of getting 20 reps, I say the closer that you can get to that 20 on that set, the better. Do not freak out. I definitely warmed up. I think if I went cold into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plates on the calf raise, I'd probably rip both Achilles off. It makes me want to think if you're not training your calves hard, then you're kind of just a baby because you're not able to fight against that mental pain of your calves just being on fire. So take that as a call out if you've been skipping calves for too long. Right? With small muscle groups, it's more of like a momentary pain. That's almost the exertion you're fighting against, because it's not like I finished those sets of calves and I had to take 5 minutes and go you know, it's really just fighting the discomfort in your mind. So I can be a little bit more forgiving when people skip squats. Well, I guess that's all I'm really trying to say, squats. Any really big ass compound movement, because there is a difficulty factor that's much more noticeable than, you know, let's say smaller muscle groups like these. So you tell me, is this freakier or less freaky than the last few back days?
Yeah, I had to cut bills off. Yeah, put it to the bed red up. Yeah, no, I will never feel nothing.
Well, I think that shot definitely was. Yeah, no shoulder pump, no arm pump, but still some freaking arm and shoulder veins. My battle now is just against this little pinchable layer of here. Much thinner than it was 3 months ago, but I wouldn't call this stage ready yet. A little further to go.
I can't go see you fall. I ain't gonna take me to high, so no, I can never get back so low, so low. And I got eyes in the back of my head, I got eyes in the
oh, jeez. Back pumped, I am tired. So then let's get in the car and freak. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why I would want to do like a 10 rep set of the 50s, and then a 10 rep set of the 60s, and then a 10 rep set of the 70s. Like, if you could do the 70s for 10 reps, then what was the intensity of the 50s for 10? Get it? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I want to warm up as quickly as possible and just jump right to my heaviest fucking weight. You know, I don't want to, like, let's say this is a line of my workout, right? I don't want to like start off with lightweight and then move up to heavyweight and then go light again at the end. I don't want to start at the fucking heaviest and then have to get lighter over time just because I'm getting so fucking fatigued. But that's just my mentality with it. So let's throw around the 80s. If you're doing the same shit for week to week to week to month to month to month, the same workouts, the same styles, the same rep schemes, the same weight, you're eating the same amount of food, you now compared to you in 1 month. If you have no significant difference in the way that you look, then that means you're doing something wrong. Some variable in your equation is not high enough, not intense enough, you're not resting enough, you're not eating enough, you're not training hard enough, you're not pushing yourself to the limit. Something's off. So if you've looked kind of similar, reassess, look at what you've been doing and say, okay, this needs changed. And if in all honesty, you just can't do it, like you can't really see what's wrong, then you've got to kind of have the humility to go up to someone you know who's pretty knowledgeable and say, dude, I'm having this, and that, causing this, and I'm not getting enough here, blah, 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 blah. Somebody who asks a question is a fool for a moment, but the guy who believes he's fucking 100% right on everything is a fool for life. So there's absolutely no shame in being wrong and doing things the wrong way, but there is if you never change. If this is you gotta rewire your brain. Oh, I look like shit. You shouldn't be saying that to yourself. Look, I'm not saying that you can't look like shit. Like, you can have a bit too much body fat on you. You can be kind of out of shape, but do not beat yourself up in the process. I mean, I can't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me, at least, to think constantly, like, oh, I look like shit. Yeah, my legs are pretty small. I mean, I got shit legs. What are you doing? Think about this legit. Is that gonna hype you up? Is that gonna make you excited to train them more? Like, it's just such a depressing outlook, man. Like, don't think about, and I know this is so cliche, it's so like stupid, like, oh, always think about the positive in things, not the negative. But I mean, there's a reason why cliches are cliches. It's because they're fucking true. So rather than like thinking about it like my quads are fucking small compared to my upper body, instead of seeing that and being upset by it, flip your mind around and be like, dude, I got a lot of work ahead of me, but once I get some big ass legs, this is gonna be sick. And I know it's easier said than done. It's not like you can just do that. But the more you can kind of think about that in kind of a little bit more of a motivating, kind of exciting way, dude, the more fun you're gonna fucking have.
Don't do leg extensions too heavy. Don't squat too heavy. Go light and squeeze it. Fuck. If that's what you like, if that's the training style that gives you results, then do it. That's fucking sweet. Look, you gotta remember, you are the one training. You are the one doing this shit. And it's not all gonna be written out for you fucking perfectly. There's no training book where if you read the whole thing, every single part of that training is gonna apply directly to your build and your style and just, I mean, partially even just your fucking preferences. Like, the general consensus of the approach to training has become so like self-policed. It's just so fucking stupid, you know? I want everybody to get fucking huge. But this isn't a one-way street. This isn't a mountain with only one path up. The guy who actually gets hands-on experience with something, tries different things out, realizes what works, has an actual deep understanding of the things that he likes to do and the results that it's gonna give him specifically, that's way better than somebody who's just training straight off the book, you know, listening to every fucking schmo's gripe and, you know, complain about their training style. Those are the guys who are gonna go far. That's how I feel.
All this freaking cardio is adding up. This is definitely the most interesting my lower back has ever looked. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, I can hold a pose, especially a lat spread. I mean, I could sit here for freaking ever. The tricky ones are where I gotta sit here in the front, and I really want to keep my waist in control, you know, because even if I'm taking a breath, I don't want my abs to get deflexed. You know what I'm saying there? But let's run through a few more and get ready to roll. Oh my goodness. Everybody is lacking in their upper chest. So that's why all heavy pressing movements always incline for me. Flies, I'm a little bit more lenient. You know, I'm just trying to fucking pump the shit out of the whole thing. But heavy pressing, I haven't done flat in forever, and I've never done decline. Or at least I've never had decline like in the routine. Fuck, man. I gotta say, I think no more shoulders, dude. I mean, they are pumps, so they're artificially bigger, but that is, I don't want to say it's too much, but I think that's too much shoulder. I want to delegate the amount of nutrients and growth that are going into these and kind of spread that out and focus more on chest and arms. I can't even reach behind my fucking back to do a really good side tricep. But I mean, that's a fucking shoulder pad if I've ever seen one. God. Let's get a couple more and then we can roll. Time is ticking. Just wait for it. One morning I'm going to wake up, do my business in the bathroom, step on the scale, and that scale is going to read 260. That will be a fucking day. Not that, you know, the numbers fucking matter. I just want to develop muscle, but 260 pounds of body mass, not nothing. What do you think, dude? Jesus Christ. Are side delts pumped or are they fucking pumped? I mean, even the rear delt's poking out and all I've got is side delts pumped. Pullovers with a rope or with a bar, it's just not my favorite. I really just can't fucking squeeze that hard at the bottom. And sure, I mean, I can still get a really good stretch, but, you know, if it's the last movement of the muscle group, I'm not trying to do a lot of weight, but I'm trying to, like, fucking make my, whatever muscle I'm hitting burn. So that's the plan here with these single arm pullovers. Pretty much face the cable and pull towards your, a little bit outside of your hip, like you're trying to sheath the sword, and you should feel a little something. So if you think your arms are lacking or any kind of body part's lacking, you know, kind of look at your training reflectively and think, okay, for one thing, have I really even been going hard? A lot of the time that might be the answer. But then let's say you have been, like legit, you just got to change up your style. I saw one guy comment his go-to bicep workout and it was 16 sets. Now I'm not going to say you're not going to get a solid pump, but I think you could get more out of less. And maybe, I don't want to say just reduce the volume, because that sounds like make it easier, you know? That's kind of why I have a little bit of, that's kind of why I have some trouble lowering the volume, because it's like, I don't want to make it easier. But you're not just reducing the volume of the workout, you're just concentrating the intensity, right? That's kind of how I like to look at it. But, you know, if you've been doing something that you think might not actually be the best method, or you've been hearing people talk about different rep schemes and whatever, and it kind of makes a little bit of sense to you, you know, try it out for a few weeks, see what happens. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to say, all right, well, I didn't get much bigger doing that. I guess I'll try something else. Or, oh, I'll go back to what I was doing before. And then, I guess best method, or best case scenario, holy shit, my fucking arms are huge now. You know, you might not, I mean, that, you'd have to be training in a very strange way for that to be the case. But that is, you know, one side of the spectrum. But let's freaking see what we're working with here. That's pretty much all there is for arms. I guess side try. What am I talking about? Whew. Damn, with the shoulder striations too? Absolutely brutal.
You leave feeling like your biceps are empty, or is when you Sam broke the machine.
Sam just broke the machine.
Hey Nate, what's a little problem?
So this is why, yeah,
This is why you don't.
it was him. He did it. He's been here 5 minutes.
And he's already breaking all your equipment. Bro, you're that's supposed to be your warm-up.
We can't have nice things, bro.
I got warmed up.
We're always. What is that? Wait, you're doing the stack?
For a warm-up.
That doesn't feel that crazy.
I sat here, warmed up the elbows.
Warmed up the elbows, 400 pounds.
It only says 250.
Okay, so yeah, this is where like we actually had custom-made handles made. So just for education, I'll show you. Stop right across with his ass.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I did like 6 with half the stack. That's what I do usually. I jump straight up.
Metal's valuable as it bends more, it weakens and it'll snap. So
If there's, I'll take care of it.
I got an extra cable already.
Alright.
Hitting chest with tries after, I like that. I got no problem with that. But what kind of fucks with me is doing back and then buys.
because I can never really get an awesome bicep pump. I wonder if it would be maybe not the worst idea to do biceps first on a back day and then do the rest of the back workout. Because what'll happen is, let's say I do back. By the time the back workout is finished, I've kind of fatigued my biceps, but not really in like an awesome way. Like they're maybe just a little bit pumped from doing all the rowing movements, but they haven't really gotten any actual working sets done. So if I were to try to do a bicep day after that, I feel like I'm just hitting them when they're in a compromised state. So maybe to fix it, I should kind of swap them around. Hard to say, but a lot of this stuff is real nuanced and niche info and like only minor differences. As long as you have like an evenly distributed, let's just call it an evenly distributed split, where you're not like hitting chest back to back. Obviously, if you're doing something like that where you're doing the same muscle group for multiple days in a row, actually I'd probably go so far as to say that's probably gonna be.
5 plates felt pretty fucking easy. But let's not get too crazy. Some part of my lifter senses is telling me don't do 6. 5 out of 25 will be all right. I'm gonna sit down, find a song that gets me fucking going like crazy, and then there's no better way to put it than see red and go insane. That was really good.